Hello, everybody! It is I, Dimple Wizard. So, a lot happened in the last 2 weeks I was gone. I may have had a near-death experience. A lot of glitches came out for the newest update in Legend of Zelda. A lot of online drama happened with a whole new genre of apology videos, which I really want to talk about because I find it so funny. And there's a lot of plans for the future too. So I decided to start this. Okay, alright, thank you, Colleen. But yeah, I basically wanted to start this video with a little bit of a goof, hanging out by the sea, because I just got back from a vacation. I did make a few videos while I was gone. Oh my gosh. Thank you. I wrote 21 lol. Thank you for the subscription. Let me get this thing, the alert box. Let me get that to whoop. Let me get the alert box up. Yes, I'm back. Now let's see, where is... I just had the alert box. I wanted to move that... Oh my gosh, I can't move it right. Founder icon Poggies. Yeah! It's pretty bananas. Here we go. I'm going to move the alert box up a... I'm gonna actually move it to like the top right. And then the chat box... That's me. Wah! Hi. I go back here. It's been a minute. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put on the Toxic Gossip Train instrumental again. Cause, you know, that's just classic. It's been kind of a weird time. And I have a lot of plans for the future. And I have lots of exciting announcements. And we're gonna get into all of that in today's cozy little stream. We've also reached a subscriber milestone on YouTube, which is bananas. We have over 30 subscribers now on my VOD channel. So I wanted to say thank you all for that. Because, you know, I've recently been getting like over 100 views on recent videos, and that's been crazy. I never expected it. Like, I always hoped that I would get there, but I didn't, you know, I never had like the ability to just say, oh, this will absolutely happen, you know. It was a dream to have it happen. But now we're at a point where I'm feeling pretty motivated, and even while I was away, people were subscribing, people were watching the videos I uploaded, even like those really quick ones that just, you know, were updates on game stuff. And I really missed being able to talk about that type of stuff, like all of the newest updates with Tears of the Kingdom, and all those new glitches that were found. As per usual, if you want to avoid the glitches being patched away, as I announced, you're going to have to keep your Switch on airplane mode. You can allow Bluetooth connections for controllers and NFC stuff so you can use Amiibo. And you're just going to want to disconnect your Switch from the Wi-Fi. But of course there's other announcements and things that happened at the meanwhile. The latest booster pack released for Mario Kart, which is crazy. There was also, with that came a few new courses, new characters. But what I'm going to focus on today is Tears of the Kingdom. And basically just sort of goofing around in that and giving you all a little bit of a story of what happened to me while I was at, on vacation. There is something I really want to talk about because it was like scary. The title of my stream isn't clickbait. I did have a near-death experience while I was out. I had a solid few seconds of thinking I wasn't going to see the next day, and I wanted to talk about things I've learned from that experience. So I won't keep you in suspense of that any longer, so let's just talk about what happened to me on my goofy little trip. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the stupid toxic gossip train thing. I also want to talk about that, because that is just... oh my gosh, that's so much. So, my trip. It was a very good, solid time. I got to try a lot of new foods. I got to swim in a lake. I got to enjoy like boat riding and stuff like that. It was very fun. And I got to see a lot of my family again. Which, you know, that's just always the best. It's been a while since I was able to see them because we don't live very close to each other. I've always had college or travel, so it's been tricky to make that work. Here. So, how did I almost die on my trip? Well, it was pretty much a standard day. I was going on the boat with my niece, and she's super sweet, and we were riding this thing called a pull behind. And if you don't know what a pull behind is, or maybe you have a different word for it, some people call it tubing. It's when you're basically on a giant inflatable thing, and you're just kind of chilling at the back while the boat pulls you around. You know. Pretty self-explanatory. I'm sitting at the table for this story. But it was all fine and good until we tried to dock the boat. We noticed that the waves at the lake were starting to get pretty crazy. And what was upsetting was that my cousin, he missed the entrance to dock the boat. And the whole time, like, winds were picking up and stuff. My niece and I had already gotten off the pull behind, but it was just something that, like, we noticed, like, okay, he missed it. I'm sure he could just pull back in and try again. I'm not a boat person. I don't live, like, right on a lake. Typically, I live sort of in a big city because, you know, I'm still a college student and I'm doing that whole shenanigans. So I don't really have the time to boat. So, you know, I was pretty ignorant to, like, how scary that was, in a way. So anyway, I start swimming towards the dock because my niece and I jump off the pool behind and we're just trying to get to, like, shore because we see that the weather's starting to get a little bad. And we want to, you know, just kind of get inside, get all cozy, get in pajamas, you know, play some Mario Kart or something. Well, I noticed that everything on the dock was starting to fall into the water. And this wasn't like just like towels or things like that. This was like a full fold out chair. So I thought, oh geez, I should try to at least grab the chair so I could take that back inside. This was a mistake. I failed to realize that in the span of 30 seconds how bad the storm had just got. And this is something I really want to stress to people. If you are heading to shore and you notice that things that are typically really heavy, that don't get moved by wind alone, is falling into the water, just do not go for the stuff. Never go for the stuff. Go for saving yourself first. So anyway, I did that mistake, and by the time I realized, you know, I need to just get on top of, like, the dock, it was already too late. The waves had gotten so intense and so crazy that, you know, I was just unable to really easily swim over to the ladder that would have taken me to the top of the dock. So I'm like holding on to the side of the dock. And this is like the scary part. I was sucked under the dock twice. There is space in there, but there's like a giant metal bar. And had I been under there much longer, that could have hit me. I was pulled under the water several times, but luckily I had a life vest on. And this is another thing I want to stress to you, especially as, times get tougher with climate change and things like that. The weather is going to get more intense more quickly. There's a lot of articles you can read on that. I'm not a science channel, but when you're out boating or when you're out swimming and you're in rough waters, or even if it's calm, but there's the chance of, storms or something later, you have a life vest on. Because here's what I'll tell you. When the moment we saw dark clouds looming over us, this was pretty instant. We started heading back. We literally got to the dock when the storm started. It wasn't even raining yet as I was swimming in. It started raining and blowing, and the wind was insane and the waves were insane in the span of 30 seconds. And that's not even an exaggeration. It was such a quick amount of time. The only reason I'm still here today is because I had a life vest on that would keep me above the water. I did get a little bit injured throughout this. I don't have pictures. Well, maybe I have one picture of my cuts and bruises, because it was pretty bad. But it's finally at a point where it's healing now, which is good. But the amount of stuff that went on just from that part alone, it was pretty insane. And that's not even the full story. That was just the part where I was the closest to dying. There was a second where I was under the water and I thought, if I let go of the top of the dock, this is it for me. There's no way I'll survive. And in fact, there could have been an even worse possibility ahead of me if I hadn't pulled myself out of the water. So this is what happens next. I climb on top of the dock, and my poor niece, she had already taken her life vest off. And she was very upset because her dad, my cousin, he's trying to pull into the boat into the dock and everything. And I'm just trying to get my niece onto the top. And I'm really running on adrenaline right now because it's very, very scary. And I hear a very loud, sharp sound. Good job, Link, for scratching your booty right now. But he managed to get the boat docked, but it took him literally ramming it into the dock. It was the only way to go. So there is a dent in their boat now, which is crazy. But as my niece is climbing up, like I said, I hear a super loud noise. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a clang. But the next thing I know, I'm falling onto the dock. I'm on the ground now, but I don't even process that. I'm just on the ground and I'm pulling my niece up. And I look behind me, and the whole dock snapped from the shore. There's a bridge that goes over to the dock, and it just wasn't connected anymore. And the dock managed to drift. I would say a solid 10 to 20 feet away from the shore, just to the side. So we were probably just on the dock for, I would say, 2 minutes. The waves were insane. Everything was insane. The boat was going crazy. It was stopped, but the waves were so much that the boat was rocking back and forth. And it was just nuts. And I'm there trying to calm my niece down because, at least we're safe. We're on top of the dock, But I'm also very aware of the idea that this could go even worse and we need to do something. So my cousin and I work together and we decide we're going to float to the neighbor's dock. We're going to put on our life vests and get everybody all vested up, and we're just going to float towards the neighbor's dock and climb up there and get onto shore. And this is literally what we do. We jump in the water. We're all holding hands and we're all climbing up. It's my niece, then me, then my cousin, and we get up, and it was just intense. The storm was crazy. It was wild. And you know, I didn't even process the pain I was in yet. Because, you know, I had not only fallen on the dock, but I was getting sucked under the dock and fighting against, you know, Mother Nature. And this was very traumatic for all of us, but we all made it out okay. Like, we're all like a bit, you know, hurt, but we all survived. And that's why, and I tell you guys this story not because I want to scare you, and this isn't like, ooh, this will be great content for YouTube, but because it is summertime, and I think it's honestly such an important lesson to always wear a life vest when you're out in like a lake or the ocean. Because the amount of time that it took for things to go south was over the span of 2 minutes. Never go for items. Leave your stuff behind. Like, whenever you're on a plane, flight attendants will tell you in the event of like a crash or something, or exiting the plane, you have to leave your stuff behind. There's a reason for that. Because who cares about the things when your life is on the line? And what I'll say is, if there's anything I've learned from this, it's that I don't have a fear of the water. I don't have a fear of boating. I don't even have a fear of, you know, riding in the pool behind or whatever. I have a fear of just not having a life vest on standby. Now, I wouldn't like go as far to say you always have to have a life vest on while you swim. It is a good thing to have on, and I think there's a certain age for children where they need to always wear a life vest. Hi. Welcome to my place. Anyway, but I would say for adults, you know, it's something that it's like you shouldn't feel ashamed to, you know, wear a life vest. And for the rest of the trip, whenever I was in the water, I always made sure to have my life vest with me. But in terms of the property, the objects, the next day we went on a recon mission and I just dove into the lake and I retrieved the chairs we lost, floaties, I found some life preservers, extra things, and I also found my Crocs. I got new Crocs for the trip, just so I could wear. They were very cute. They have like little bees on them, and I managed to save those. I had to even use that chair that I mentioned earlier to grab those things, which was funny. For me, this happened now 2 weeks ago. When this event occurred for me on July 1st. And you know, it was just insane. It was intense. And I alluded to it gently in one of my recent videos that I uploaded. I uploaded 3 videos. And I'm pretty sure it was the one where I talked about a new Breath or Tears of the Kingdom glitch, where I was like, yeah, guys, always wear a life vest. That was pretty fresh after the incident, and I've since, I wouldn't say I've, like, overcome my trauma. Like, I think that's still something that I think about, you know? I think for anybody who's gotten that close to dying, I think it takes, like, a little bit, right? But I would say I'm not uncomfortable with things. My life hasn't been impacted to a point where, you know, I'm up every night having nightmares about the sea or anything, and I'm really grateful for that. I think at the time the scariest part was just I wanted to save my niece and I didn't want her to be scared and I didn't want her to be upset. And you know, that night my family and we all played Mario Kart together, and it was a very sweet moment. And from then on forward, the kids always had to wear life vests, like, even if we were just kind of swimming around. And I think that's something that that makes sense, at least for the time being. But the weather was literally sunny and pretty until it just wasn't. Like, the dark cloud rolled in and we immediately saw it at the start and we headed back, and it was literally as we started to pull it and we missed the first time getting into the dock. That those 2 minutes it costed us to get inside was all that it took. So I just say this is a big PSA. Please wear a life vest. Please keep updated with the weather, especially as summertime is still rolling on and we continue to have crazy weather. So yeah, I'm really glad I can at least talk to you guys about that, because, you know, it's just one of those stories that it's like, it has a good lesson in it, and it's bananas. Hello, Kasai! I was just telling the people how I nearly died. It was crazy. I'm also really happy to say, like, beyond that, you know, that was scary. But the rest of the trip was really lovely, and I plan on showing, like, pictures and things like that in upcoming streams, and going into more in-depth detail of it. I'm still kind of recovering from the flight home and just getting acclimated to my life again. Don't worry, Kasai, I'm all fine. It's just all good. I'm all okay. But just wear a life vest. But I have a lot of fun ideas. And I wanted to say, like, let's talk about what else happened on my trip. I uploaded 3 videos and all of them did really well. So I wanted to say thank you guys for watching and supporting my content, because even though I wasn't able to upload as consistently, you guys still came in droves and we got to reach a whole new subscriber milestone. So now we have, like, I think 32 subscribers on the Dimple Wizard VODs channel. So I want to do some type of celebration, and I wanted to pass a question up to you guys, my lovely beans. What type of celebration should I do for 30 subs? I want to kind of have a thing where, like, every 10 subs I do something special. And then of course something extra special for 100. Like, that's my goal right now, is 100 subscribers on YouTube. So hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And there's a bean in the chat. Let's see. Now, in terms of content, in the coming days I'm going to be covering the recently discovered glitches found in 1.2.0, the newest update that was released on the 4th of July. There's a lot of new glitches, and they're kind of weird to pull off. So of course I will make an instructional video on how to pull them off. There is also a Splatfest tomorrow. It is ice cream themed. So it's mint chocolate chip, which is what I would personally pick if I wasn't on offline mode. Vanilla and strawberry. So if you like playing Splatoon, keep that in mind, because this weekend is a good time to be playing the game. I also made a video updating, doing an update on Overwatch and how there was a free Mei skin in the store. And you guys really liked that video. So I'll be sure to keep you guys notified if there's more new things in Overwatch. And I hope to actually play that game really soon on stream, because, you know, that'll be fun. Now, in terms of my Tears of the Kingdom Let's Play, that's also going to be starting back up really soon. I'm going to finish all of the temples, and we're gonna go see if we can, I don't know, defeat Ganon and turn Zelda back to normal or something. At least I'm gonna try. I don't know if we can. And I hope to do, like, just 4 really dedicated streams to all of those story events. And then it'll be time to do more goofy things with the game. And I also want to focus more on other games too, because there's a lot of games out there that are coming up. The new Pikmin 4 game is coming out soon, and I want to play that. Mario Wonder is coming out I think in the holiday season, and that'll be something I want to play. Oh no, hold on. I think my Switch froze. Let's see. Hup. Okay, here we go. Yay, it's fixed. Let's see, in terms of other things, in terms of art, my commissions are still open if you want to make a PNG or GIF tuber. And I'm going to be making a new video talking about it because I've made things a little bit more streamlined. I constantly want to edit it to make it just a little bit more clear, because making animated GIF tubers, that can be an interesting process, and it's a very niche sort of thing. But again, if you like my little Dimple Wizard GIF tuber down there, just know you can commission me for one of your very own. So yeah, that's all cool. And you can commission me on Fiverr.com. So let's see, what else? There's so much to talk about. Let's see. I have a very, very big surprise for everybody in the coming weeks that I'm going to be hush-hush about because I still have to figure out how to incorporate it. That's all I'm going to say about that. I also have plans of wanting to stream in VR this year. And I say this year because it seems like my streaming setup is getting to be inefficient. I might need to invest in a better capture card soon and, get the better stuff. And I have to figure out how to connect, like, the Oculus Rift to Streamlabs. So we're gonna see how that works. I'm gonna try. But I know that type of thing could be a pain, and my Oculus often will just crash immediately, so there's a lot of stuff to figure out with that. I am really bad at technology, so is this the right profession for me? I think so in terms of creativity, but I don't think so in terms of I struggle, and I have very short patience with all tech. So we'll see how that goes. But if you guys would like, I'm going to try to do a meet and greet on VR chat in the future. So stay tuned for something cool like that. And let's see, what else? This stream is going to be really short because it's kind of just, I wanted to mainly focus on the lesson I learned over vacation, and I wanted to just give you guys a quick rundown on the future of the channel. But I have one final announcement. It's that tomorrow I'll be able to let you know if this is applicable or not, but there is a chance that the next week might be kind of insane for me in terms of being able to stream at a reasonable time, and I might miss a few days because I'm going to possibly be on jury duty. And with that comes like a whole lot of things. Obviously I won't be able to talk about my experience with that, but at least I can just let you guys know ahead of time that my schedule is at risk of being wonky due to, that. I have to show up and do my duty in society. If I'm called. That's what I'm finding out today. So yeah, a lot of big stuff planned, a lot of exciting things planned. Tomorrow I'm going to see if I can continue the Let's Play of Tears of the Kingdom, and we're gonna see if we can do a new temple. So in the comment section of this video, let me know which temple you want me to tackle next. The Water Temple, the Fire Temple, or the Thunder Temple. Because any of those are pretty much applicable. I'm at the same stage of all of them. And every single one of those should be like 2 streams or something like that, because there's going to be solving the dungeon puzzle itself, and then there's going to be the boss fight. So because it's a Zelda game, it's pretty formulaic with certain parts, so I'm going to assume that since we've beaten the Wind Temple, it's gonna be the same kind of deal. But yeah, with that all being said, thank you all so much for joining me on today's very mini stream, and also I guess my very mini YouTube video, just talking about everything I've seen for the past 2 weeks. Oh, right, the whole bit at the start. Yeah, that whole toxic gossip train thing was really funny. I really enjoyed learning about all that stuff throughout the vacation. Very big yikes for Miranda Sings. But what do I think about the ukulele apology? I wouldn't really call it an apology, and I don't know if I'd even really call it a song, but it definitely was entertaining. So yeah, she's just meh. Like, I'm not really a drama channel. I do eventually want to cover YouTube drama and stuff because I think it's interesting. There was a lot of sub stuff with that I want to talk about. So if you guys are also interested in hearing like a more deep dive on that, let me know in the comments section, because maybe I'll make a whole other faction of like a YouTube channel for just focused on like tea. Just because I think it's interesting. But yeah, a lot of big plans, very exciting future. Thank you for listening to my story, and remember, stay safe out there and have a fun summer. I'll see you guys in the next video, hopefully tomorrow. I love you all. Tschüss!